Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you're here. I have mentioned in several videos that I have been wanting to brighten up our dining room. To me, it just felt there was too much brown going on. It was very gloomy in my opinion, and it looked very cluttered to me. So I really wanted to elevate this space and make it brighter. So I decided to go by Lowe's and pick up a brighter neutral color to help in the space. I went with this Bohemian lace color by Valspar, and I didn't know what to expect because when I started using the color, it turned out really bright. We have this light beige color that is in our living room and our dining room, and it wraps all the way around our den, and everything is open concept in here. So with me choosing this bright color, it was a very bold choice for me. I guess you can go ahead and call me the guinea pig in this video because this is the first time I've used this color in my home. However, I will say that I was really happy with the end result, and I hope you guys are ready for this total transformation. I'm going to go ahead and get some of this stuff out of the way so I can begin painting this wall first. This makeover project did take me a couple of days to complete, but I have a lot packed into this video because we are getting so much done with this makeover project. There is so many steps that I took to get this makeover done, and I'm also going to be including repainting our fireplace in this video as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Go ahead and give me a like if you are ready, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm just using an old towel that I do use for painting here on the floor just as an extra precaution because I get a little nervous dealing with paint, especially around my flooring. So I try to take precautions because paint drips are a common thing when you're dealing with paint, and I try to make sure that doesn't happen and it won't drip on my floors. I'm sure you can already tell how bright of a color this is and it definitely brightened up this wall, and that's what I was really going for, honestly. Once I got through painting and it dried, it really looked good. I was pretty impressed with this color. I've mentioned before that I've kind of been shifting away from that modern farmhouse style, but still kind of keeping that farmhouse vibe, but also trying to incorporate it being more luxurious, I guess you would say. So what would that be called? Would it be like farm looks? I still love that farmhouse look, but I've been trying to put my own twist to it to where it's more minimalistic and a little bit more luxurious at the same time. But again, I'm in a mobile home. I can only do but so much, but there's these looks that I try to incorporate in my home, and that's what I've been on a mission to do. And you can already tell what a difference this color is making in this area. It's not so gloomy, it's a whole lot brighter, and I was just so in love with how it was turning out. Now that I have the haul tree out of my way, I'm going to go ahead and finish this wall. I decided to paint this entire wall because it would have looked off if I didn't, and since we do have open concept, I figured it wouldn't look bad anyway. And looking at this clip, you can see that the whiter and brighter color, it just contrasts so much better versus the beige color that we had here with that black hallway. But y'all let me know down in the comments what you guys think, because ultimately I value all of y'all's opinions. I feel like all of y'all are part of this family and y'all are my friends, so definitely let me know what you guys think down below so far. But let me go ahead and finish getting this wall done so we can begin decorating. the next day. I'm about halfway done on the wall, so let me show y'all how it's coming together. I also have my t-shirt on so I don't mess up any of my good shirts, so let's go ahead and knock this wall out. Whenever I am working on any kind of makeover, I always try and take my time and not rush, because when you start rushing and getting impatient, that's when mistakes happen, and that's when I feel like I get more frustrated to begin with. So I really try to take my time and make sure that I never feel rushed doing the project. And also, I like to have fun doing these projects. I really enjoy painting. I find it is very therapeutic, and doing these makeovers on my own home makes me happy. It gives me so much joy, and also that I'm able to do these makeovers and share these with y'all, give y'all some ideas and inspiration, and hopefully I'm able to do that today in this video. I forgot to mention that this is the second coat of paint that I put on this wall. The entire dining room needed 2 coats of paint. 1 coat of paint was not enough, so I will go ahead and say that. I bought 1 gallon of paint, and I am so thankful that that was just enough paint to cover my entire dining room with 2 coats of paint. So I was really thankful I didn't have to go back to the store and get any extra. But now I'm going to go ahead and work on our fireplace. You can tell that it desperately needed to be refreshed. It was very faded, and this was a dark brown color before, and I did paint it, but I didn't do a great job on it. So I'm going to wipe the surface down before I paint over it again. That way everything's clean prior to me repainting it. While I was working in our den, I wanted to tell you guys that my future plans for this space are to repaint the walls, obviously. I'm going to get rid of that beige color all throughout the den. It's going to be a very long job. Our den is very large, and also my plan is to get furniture eventually. We have lived in our mobile home 7 years, and we only have a chair in this den. So we do need some furniture to put in here just so all of us can have extra seating. I'm also really wanting to do an accent wall where the fireplace is. Sometimes I wish I could just wave a wand and have everything done, but it doesn't work that way. And these are things that I slowly have to get completed. And obviously I don't have the money to do all of that right now, but eventually I will get it done. I also need to go by Lowe's or Home Depot to look at some trim because we recently got our new back door put in. However, the trim that we had got disposed and we couldn't reuse it. So I do need to go get some trim to put around the door frame. So that will be in an upcoming video coming soon as well. I just have a lot of good and exciting things coming and I can't wait to share them. This was the next day. I went ahead and moved the hall tree and the little buffet table back up against the wall. I ended up going to Hobby Lobby to see if I could find some decor that would fit this space. And I did find this little basket from there. It was in their spring collection, so it was on sale, as well as this tree. The tree and the basket were together, so I ended up getting both of them. Y'all already know that I am just a sucker when it comes to artificial plants. Every time I see an artificial plant or an artificial tree, I feel like I just can't help myself, but it has to be the right price. Obviously, I'm not going to buy a plant or a tree that's expensive. This one here was on sale as part of their spring collection, so I did end up getting that one. But y'all, I feel like I have developed a problem when it comes to artificial plants and trees. I'm also so indecisive. I was sitting here trying to rearrange all of these little pieces, trying to get it to where I would like it, and you're gonna see some different things, but I finally decided on what I wanted and I am just really happy with how it turned out. Now we are going to move right along to the other half of the dining room. I needed to get everything off of the wall so I can paint here. These little curtain rods were giving me a hard time getting out of the wall. I don't know why. I struggled there a little while trying to get those out, but let me go ahead and get everything off of the walls and get the wall prepped so I can go ahead and start painting. I believe this was the third day of painting, and I've shared these tips with y'all before, but I'll go ahead and share them again. What I do to keep my paint rollers good without having to buy new ones every time or every day that you have to paint, just wrap them in a plastic bag. I just use grocery bags wrap them tight, and then the next day it'll still be wet or moist. That way you don't have to go out and buy a new one because the one you were using got messed up from getting dry or whatever. So that's what I do to keep my paint rollers moist. That way I can reuse them until I get done with the project. Also, since I didn't have any paint liner trays, I ended up just using grocery bags each time that I needed to refill the paint. I tell you what, grocery bags just have a never-ending list of things that they can be used for. So that's what I do personally, and it worked for me. Also, another thing, I can't remember if I mentioned this before or not, but the paint roller that I was using in this video was a whole lot longer than the tray that I had. So I had to be very careful with the paint because if I put a glob on it, it would have messed up my floors really bad. So that's why the paint roller just isn't completely covered with paint every time you see me roll it on the wall. So I was just using materials that I already had. I had that paint roller and I was not about to spend any extra money on paint rollers when I already had one on hand. So I only grabbed the paint. I only grabbed a few items from Hobby Lobby, and I also grabbed some frame moldings that I picked up at Lowe's, which you will be seeing here very shortly. These are the frame moldings that I saw at Lowe's, and I completely fell in love with them whenever I saw them. They were a bit pricey. I believe they were $16.99 a piece, but I really loved the details on these, and I knew it would look really good in this space. Another reason I went with the molding was to add character to my walls because, as you know, mobile home walls are very plain. There's really nothing exciting about them, so I really wanted to add some character to the wall, especially in the dining room, because we spend a lot of time together as a family in the dining room, and my whole goal surrounding this makeover was to make it brighter, was to make it homier, and was to make it a place where I felt better in, if that makes any sense. You know, there's some areas in your home where you probably would not prefer to spend that much time in because you just, not to say that in a bad way, but I hope you guys know what I mean. There's this one room in my house where I despise going into because it is just so cluttered. You literally cannot even walk in the room. It's really that bad, y'all. You literally cannot walk in the room. And honestly, I'm pretty embarrassed to even mention that here on my channel, but that is the God's honest truth. However, I am planning on tackling that room so you can actually walk into it. I need to do a massive declutter in that room, which will be on this channel, so I can prove to you that anything that you put your mind to is possible. Anyways, I am spray painting these frames with some paint and primer in one by, I think it's the black matte color, and I ended up doing 2 coats here. I did end up picking up 2 more of these branches from Hobby Lobby. I love the way these look, and I just wanted to make this vase feel more fuller. I used to have this vase in our living room as a decor piece, but I moved it here in our den, and I just think it looked a little bit better here. This is how the frames turned out after they dried. I had to wait a couple of hours in between coats of paint to make sure they were dry before I put them on the wall. I wanted to go ahead and paint them black because, one, I didn't have any of the white paint left, and I could have put them on the wall and painted over them so they looked a little bit more aesthetic, but painting them black actually made them more defined, and you could actually see them a lot better. You line them on top of each other to create a 3-tier DIY frame on this side of the wall, and I think it turned out really good. I'm just going to use my brad nail gun to get them in the wall. I had 3 pictures printed from CVS. I believe they were the 8x10 size, and I put them directly in the middle of each frame, and this is how you can create a DIY frame without having to go out and buy actual frames, and I thought this was a neat and budget-friendly idea for your wall. Also, whenever I used the brad nail gun, it kind of chipped away some of the paint, so I'm just using a Sharpie to fill in those little holes to keep that seamless look. I did move my other tree I had here into this side of the window. I may move it later on, but I just put it here to have something there so it wasn't bare. But y'all, look how much this room has changed already. It's amazing how far a different color paint can go in your home, and this room is so much brighter. I feel like it's a lot more happier than before, and I think it looks so much better. There was one more thing that I did order on Amazon that I wanted to put on the very top of the picture frames, and that was a picture light. I've been seeing these all over social media on Instagram and Pinterest, and I immediately fell in love with that idea. I thought it was a really cute touch to put on top of your frames. So I did order this one on Amazon. It comes with a remote, and it has different dimming options, and it also has a timer on the remote and also an on and off button, and you can turn the light by hand on and off on the side. It has a rechargeable battery, so you don't have to go out and keep buying batteries for it. So that was a major plus for me. One thing I don't prefer is going out and buying batteries for lights when they can be rechargeable, which is this one. So I did like that fact of this picture light. And I will have the link to this one down below if you are interested in getting this one for yourself. It does have other color options as well, but I went with black since my frames were black as well. thank y'all so much for watching this video and sticking around until the end. I hope y'all really enjoyed this one. I hope that I gave you some ideas or inspiration with this mobile home makeover. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. That really helps my channel out a lot, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in my next one.